As like a feminist punk band, it's like really important for us to like walk the walk instead of just
Right.
only talk the talk, you know? So yeah, we do try to do at least like one benefit show every year.
Emily and Lane of Someone's Daughter, thank you so much for your time today. How are you doing? Emily, you seem particularly comfortable right now. What's
Yeah,
going on?
I'm in bed. Just hanging
Always a
out.
great place to be.
um, yeah, I don't know. We just got back from tour. Kind of been relaxing a little bit on shows. I think trying to focus on writing right now. Maybe recording soon.
Okay, okay. Well, lots of us to dig into. Lane, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good, man. I'm fueled up on coffee. Actually, Emily got me this mug. It's got my cats on it. So
Awesome.
feeling good, feeling great. It's Friday.
It is Friday as we're recording this. Absolutely. Awesome. So let's dive into straight away with the main reason that we're talking today is your upcoming show at the Femme Fatale Fest in Portland. That's exciting for coming up. It's a 2-day festival. You guys played the Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, August 2nd. That's a special show for a lot of different reasons. Obviously, the show is to raise awareness and to raise funds as well for the local shelter, the Rosehaven Shelter. When shows like that come around, because I've seen you do more similar awareness raising, fundraising shows. I think you were in Chehalis, if I pronounced that correctly, not too long ago, for a similar setup. When shows like this come around, that's just for you guys like a bat signal in the air, like we have to be part of that. Giving back to the community feels like it's part of the DNA of the band.
Yeah, I would say so. As like a feminist punk band, it's like really important for us to like walk the walk instead of just
Right.
only talk the talk, you know? So yeah, we do try to do at least like one benefit show every year. This year we're doing two. So yeah, we did that Chehalis show, which was really fun. And yeah, it's just important to like show up for your community in whatever way you can.
Yeah, it's been really great too that there like has been so many options too. And yeah, I think we're also hopefully, Lane and I have been talking about trying to get our own started at some point as well. There's been a lot of like support from other members in the music community trying to help us get that set up. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you bring up a good point when you say like, we don't just talk the talk, we have to walk the walk. I mean, punk music has always been, just joined at the hip with activism, but not every band that has a message has walked the walk as well. When the show's over. If Emily, you say like, oh, we see more support now, we might want to do something ourselves as well. When you look at your local scene, has that sentiment of the scene, like we actually need to give back more, has that grown, or is that still unfortunately more the exception than the rule?
I don't know if it's grown. I think it's changed a lot. Depends on like what time scale you're talking about too, but I feel like it's always kind of been a thing. I think that maybe we hear about the bands that like stand out more and like do more work, but I feel like that's part of like the ethos of punk culture, and like
Mm-hmm.
there's always going to be, bands and, people in the scene that are kind of like posers or whatever, who maybe aren't actually doing their part and are more like interested in the like fashion of it. Actually, the Disorderlies, who's a band, they have like a couple good songs about that, just like about, yeah, punks being like either pretentious or just like in it for the fashion. And I don't know. But I think that Seattle has a great scene. I'm from the Bay Area, and I think that almost everybody that I meet here are like really great and really interested in actually giving back and like
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I was just talking to my friend about this because I was in the Bay this weekend visiting. Like, I feel like after shows, I'm usually sitting around with like other bands and just like talking about just like what's important to us, and like that's something that I didn't really have as much in the Bay. So that's been really cool.
These are a couple of the quieter days for the band after you finished a tour. That tour was also for a very specific reason. You have your debut EP out, which is cool, Property Damage, about a month ago that it came out. So now that you've had, I mean, often I interview bands just before something comes out, right? And that is always, that can be scary, that's exciting, that you don't really know what's going to happen, how people are going to react. I now have the luxury of talking to you both, you know, a month after this EP came out, and that you had a chance to play some of these songs, you know, for different audiences as well. So do you have a chance now to reflect a little bit and look back? Because I'm sure it was a whirlwind when everything came out. How are you looking back on that EP now?
I mean, yeah, it was a really good time. And like, I think we're taking what we've learned from the experience and like figuring out like how we want to like maybe do things a little bit differently on the debut EP. And yeah, and just kind of knowing what it was like to record 4 songs versus like a full length and how much time that's going to take, how much money that's going to take. Yeah, it was just like a big learning process for us.
Right.
But like, I think we all had like such a fun time with it, and it was really exciting putting it out.
Yeah. You say that you know you might be recording soon on the EP. We get 4 songs, and you know we get a couple of different like elements in there. I mean, when I was listening to it, I'm like, well, there's like even late '60s psychedelic rock stuff on there, garage rocky stuff, but then also like first wave hardcore, the like early '80s stuff came out to me as well. Were there specific elements in your sound that, you know, going through this actual process of recording these songs and also like playing them a lot for different audiences, when you are thinking of what's next and writing it full length, are there specific elements on this EP that we should expect to see more of? Like, are there things that the band really liked?
Emily?
I think that I don't know, our music tastes are really eclectic, so we end up having a lot of different sounds. I I guess we haven't decided exactly which songs we're gonna record, but we have been leaning, I think, in a little bit more of like a hardcore direction. But we still are, I think, always gonna have a lot of like the like 90s riot girl, you know, energy. And then some of our music was described as like a little bluesy recently, and I was like, oh, that's funny. But yeah, I think definitely we're getting more aggressive, I would say, more
Mm-hmm.
loud.
Yeah, I'd say
Good.
like the through line is kind of like that we all really love punk, and so we want to have like a punk sound, but we've also discussed like not pigeonholing ourselves too early. So
Yeah.
yeah, we want to play punk songs, but like we want to have room to like, you know, have some other kind of song.
Yeah, there's been like a couple of songs because Lane and I songwrite together a lot. Like we'll like I go over to her house usually and hang out with her cats, and then yeah, we just hang out. And yeah, sometimes we write stuff and we're like, well, is this us? And we're like, well, it came out like we wrote this, so of
Right.
course it's us, you know.
Well, it is interesting that, like, you know, punk, I mean, punk should all be, you know, in its essence, you know, not following rules and doing what you want to do. But at the same time, you know, there can be so much gatekeeping, and there's so in punk there's like so many stereotypes that you're not allowed to go from at the same time. Like it's hard to it's almost impossible to please people in punk. You know, it's like because you can't sound the same as before, but you can't sound different than what you were. So that could be sometimes rough. So if we can, you know, fast forward a bit, and you know, understanding that you said recording costs a lot of money, it takes a lot of time, and all that kind of good stuff. But what could we keep our fingers crossed for? Like, when should we expect the next chapter of Someone's Daughter to come out?
It'd be hopefully early next year. I like to come out. I think that right now we're about to start demoing and doing pre-recording process. So yeah, that's like the goal, at least I would like to.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like in our conversations we've all chatted about like hopefully recording the full length late fall or sometime in the winter, and then like kind of same as what we did with Property Damage, putting it out in the spring, like giving it a couple of months to like marinate and work on little, album art, stuff like that. So yeah, I think by like I mean optimistically, yeah, by like next summer there will be a full length out.
Okay. Well, I mean, at this point, if there's no cats on the cover, I'm going to be slightly disappointed. But we'll see. We'll
Okay,
see.
I'll raise it to the band.
It seems to be an important part of this collaboration. All right, so we've got this festival show coming up. What can we expect from that? Given that you've got now the CP out, you've got other songs, you've got songs that you're working on. What should we expect?
With the festival, I mean, yeah, I think a lot of the songs that we would record on the full length, we've definitely been playing live. We have like a whole new set from when we started playing, which is really exciting. And even more, like, I think Lane and I always have some like in the arsenal, that we haven't even started practicing yet or like brought to the band. So who knows? It's like almost a month away now. Yeah. So
yeah, just a little over.
Yeah, could be anything.
Yeah. Okay. Now, before that show, you also have the show that you're going to open up for Bad Cop as well, which is super exciting. And then, I mean, we're only halfway through the year, so what can we keep our eyes open for when it comes to shows and more shows being announced?
Yeah, I think we're starting to get to a point where, I mean, like I said, we're trying to demo and like really focus on recording, but I mean, yeah, things like the Bad Cop shows, like how could we turn that down? That's so awesome. We're really excited about that. And same with Femme, Fatale Fest. But yeah, I think we want to really try and like focus on playing shows with like friends and stuff. I think now that like we're established, we're able to kind of choose stuff like that, which is really nice. Before it was kind of like just taking any show that we could get. And now,
right.
Yeah, we want to really focus on having femme or queer fronted bills and like, things that again are just like really important to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now you say like, we're established now. Back in the day, we had to get what we get. I mean, it's not that the back in the day is that long ago. Has it been a positive surprise to see how quickly kind of like buzz grew and that establishment materialized?
Yeah, I think like it really started happening quickly right after we put out the EP. Like I think we all learned like that's such an important part of like just generating buzz for a band is like having something streaming that people can like go listen to after the show. So yeah, it's been really cool to see like the growth just in the last like it's been like 2 months or something since we put out the EP.
Only a month, I think.
Really cool. And yeah, and just getting to like play shows that like really resonate with us and like really awesome bands are like asking us to join bills. So it's been really exciting. We're just excited about the future.
Awesome. Well, there's a lot more coming. It sounds like to be excited about. First, we've got 2 really, really cool shows. And then before we know it, there will be more music out there for the fans to listen to after the shows. That's exciting stuff. Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed and my eyes open to see, even when you're very busy with recording and all that kind of good stuff, to see a few more shows as well, that people that can't make these 2 upcoming shows in July and August, to see you guys on a stage. Emily, Lane, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I hope the band helps raise a ton of money for the Rosehaven shelter and on August 1st and 2nd in just a few weeks from now. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, nice talking to you. Thank you.
Yeah, we're excited about the show.
Yeah, very excited.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.